I was playing at this place in Pasadena called One West, and I did a regular Monday there for about 3 years. That was from 1986 to about 1989, or the end of '88. And a lot of people would come out there. I got a lot of people to show up. Even the guys like Brian Setzer from Stray Cats and James Burton came down. I've had a lot of people. Slim Jim Phantom. All these people would come down. Monday nights was just a strange night for everybody to be out. Or there wasn't anything really going on. Chucky Weiss was playing down at the Central, and I was playing down at One West in Pasadena. Anyways, we get a pretty good crowd in there. We had a lot of fun. I know Melanie used to hang out with us down there. A lot of people used to hang out. Anyways, one night, a friend of mine brought Nicolas Cage down. My friend Nicole Panter brought Nick down. She wanted him to see me play. So anyways, Nick came down. He was sitting in the audience, and I took a break, which I don't really do hardly anymore, take a break. But anyways, I took a break and sat at the table with him, and he's like, man, it's like, what do we do to trade places? I want to trade places with you. And I'm thinking, you want to trade places with me? You're like Nicolas Cage, who's like a big famous actor, and you have a lot of money. I'm a guy living in Pasadena in a loft. I drive an old van that was, 1967, a Econoline van that used to be a telephone delivery van, and I'm playing this place here for hardly any money. You're out of your mind. I said, hey, anytime, dude, you want to trade places, I'd be happy to trade places with you. Anyways, we ended up talking, hanging out, and he just was one of those guys that really loved music. He was an Elvis fanatic. And so, anyways, we had that meeting that night, when he came to see me play, and we hung out. Then I'd see him at Canner's all the time. Canner's is a little deli out in Hollywood, off of Melrose there, Fairfax. And we'd run into each other once in a while. And then a movie came up, this movie, Wild at Heart. I get a call from a guy named Mark Roswell. He was a music guy on this film, and he says, hey, we want to bring you in to work with Nicolas Cage. He's asked for you. He's got to sing a couple of Elvis songs for the film, and he wanted to know if you were available maybe to come in to coach him. I said, okay, sounds good. So I go down to, I'm trying to remember I think it was Ocean Way at the time. It was the studio, which used to belong to Frank Sinatra. It's a big, nice studio. And so they asked me to come down at 9, 7 o'clock, something like that. I show up, and there's Nick, and James Burton was there. James Burton, for those of you who don't know who he is, he played guitar for Elvis in all those years, from 68 on to the rest of his career. And James Burton also played with Ricky Nelson in the earlier years of Rick's career. Anyways, there's James Burton, who I know very, very well from the period of when my brother played with Rick Nelson and James Burton was playing with Jerry Lee Lewis. We were all hanging out a lot. So anyways, here I walk into the studio, and there's James Burton, and he's happy to see me, and Nick's happy to see me, and we're working on these songs. So the two songs were Love Me and Love Me Tender. So we worked. I kind of coached them a little bit on singing, and mostly we kind of hung out and talked. And James Burton had a guitar on, and we kind of ran through some stuff. And then, funny enough, that night after we got done, Nick was like, "Okay, man, here's my number. Call me. I guess you're going to be coaching me for this thing until we go and do the session." So we would get together, me and Nick, and we would work on the tune, tunes a little bit. He kind of got busy with all his other kind of scheduling stuff because, he's an actor and he's working. So I get a call and they say, okay, the session is going to be tomorrow morning. And so I went down, I think it was at Sunset Sound where we did this. I show up to the session and I walk into the session and it's Elvis's band is there. It's Ronnie Tudd, Jerry Schiff, Glenn D. Harden, James Burton. That's the band. And I walk into the room, and these guys are all there, shake everybody's hand, say hi to everybody, and everybody's got their stuff set up. And here comes Nick. Okay, we're going to do this. Nick is so nervous He walks into the room and he's sweat dripping all over himself because he's so nervous because it's Elvis's band is there to cut these tracks with him. This is something that Mark Roswell and David Lynch had set up. They thought it would be cool to get Elvis's band to play on these tracks. So we had already worked on these songs, and so I thought Nick was pretty ready to at least to do a kind of a, what we call in the business a scratch vocal. That's just a duo vocal. We're in a room separated from the band, so if he sings and the band cuts the track, we can always go back in it and fix whatever is vocal or redo it, whatever. So we're in there getting ready to cut this track, and I'm like, dude, are you okay? He's like, man, I'm horrified right now. You know, he was so nervous because it was Elvis's band, and he's such an Elvis fan that he couldn't believe that he was going to be recording with these guys. So anyways, we're sitting there. I said, don't worry about it. It's going to be great. I'm his coach, so the most important thing you do when you're the coach is to try to give the guy confidence, right? So they started counting off the song. I think Ronnie Tett, the drummer, Elvis the drummer, he's counting the song off, you know, gives like a 4 count, and then he's supposed to drop in, treat me like a fool, and he misses the count, and the band starts, and then, okay, okay, let's do it again, okay, no problem, okay, second take. We do this for like 3 or 4 different takes, and by now, Nick is so nervous and so freaked out that he's making it even harder on himself. It was easy to do, but he just making it hard on himself. So James Burton comes over. He goes, "Hey man, get James Intveld to sing the scratch vocal. It'll be fine. And then you come back and you sing it later." And I thought to myself, no, it's not a good idea because I don't want to be singing here, you know, with Nick in the room. Let him do it. It's his gig. He should be doing it. I go, no, I said, Nick's got this, man. He's good. Give him a couple seconds here to kind of get it together. And I looked at Nick and I said, dude, you're going to be all right. Let's just get it. Let's just get in there. We'll do it. And Nick goes, oh, maybe you ought to do it. Maybe you do it. No. I said, it'll be better if you do it. I said, you're going to get this. You're going to get this with the guys, and it's going to be cool. So they try it one more time, and they count it off, and Nick goes in it, and he's just kind of dragging through it, and he doesn't know where he's at, and then they have to stop again. By now, Nick has just completely psyched himself out of doing the thing. And so that's when James Burton and Mark Roswell go, yeah, just get Intveld to do it. He'll sing the track, and then Nick, you'll have all the time in the world to do the track. Because the band, you know, professional musicians, when they're on a session like that, they don't really want to sit around and do 100 takes with somebody who doesn't know what's going on. They just want to get the track cut and go have a break and go hang out. You know, they're